Hello, and welcome to Blackfeather Guild. Before we go in and say hi to the cast and get started with the show, I wanted to talk very briefly about viewer actions and a little bit about sponsors. So, first off, there's a number of ways that you can actually actively participate in the show through viewer actions. One of the easiest ways to do so is through retweeting the game tweet. You should see that somewhere in chat if it's not in there already. But you just click on that link and hit retweet, and for every 5 retweets that we get on that, it will add a bonus to the cast pool and the game master pool. Now, in most cases, that's going to be an extra d6 that they can add on to any roll. Basically, a great way to use that is if a player is almost meeting a DC, but they're just not quite there, they can grab one of those d6s from the cast pool, roll that, and then add that to their roll. Basically, is how that works. Same with the GM. So that's one of the easiest ways that you can participate that way. Another way is through guild coins. That's our Twitch channel points. If you look at the rainbow colored icon, it should have the Black Feather Guild crest on it. It should be right below your Twitch chat box. If you click on that, it'll show you all the different things that you can get with those. The biggest one being plot points. Now, plot points, you can see an example right over here. They all work pretty much the same way. It's just a matter of how big of an impact they have. So for the example, when we've got 2 plot points, the player of your choice gets something moderately helpful or unhelpful. Enter any suggestions for the GM into chat, or you can have the GM come up with something entirely on their own. So just choose if you want it to be helpful or unhelpful to the party, and that's kind of how you can use them. You can throw in your own suggestions as well. How those work: 1 plot point is something trivially helpful or unhelpful. 2 is moderately, 3 is very, and 4 is very to the entire party. So if you want to do something to help the entire party or really throw a monkey wrench in their plans, 4 plot points will do that. So that's guild coins. And then finally, we've got donations. So if you want to help out with keeping the lights on in the place, so to speak, there's a number of ways that you can financially contribute. One of those being coffee.com/Raven or Raven.rocks. You can see both of those examples down there at the bottom. Those are the addresses to do direct donations. You can also do Twitch subscriptions or bits. Those work the same way. And then finally, Patreon. We've got a Patreon, which you should see in chat here any second if it's not there already. And our Bard tier patrons and higher get credits towards viewer actions every month that they can use on any show that they would like. You just have to let us know in chat how you want to spend those, and then we'll hand those out. So some very cool stuff. Before we hop over to see the cast, one last thing to mention is a couple things on this chart here. We've already covered the D6 and the plot points, but the triple crits, what that means is you can gift auto critical successes. And you can, it's triple because you get 3. You can divvy those out however you'd like. You can do 2 to the cast, 1 to the game master, all of them to the game master, however you want to do it. So they work much like the D6s. The cast members just grab that when they're available and they really need them and use them. So it's pretty cool. And then finally, the last one, introduce an ally or enemy NPC. Just give us a brief description of what you want this character to look like, kind of their character concept and a name, and let us know if you want it to be an enemy or an ally to the party, and the GM will basically take that and run with it. So really cool ways that you can participate. Lastly, I just want to take a quick moment to mention our sponsors. If you look at the logos down below, that's who's sponsoring this episode, and we'll talk a little bit about that before we introduce everybody as well on the next scene. So yeah, check all this stuff out and thank them for supporting us, and thank you for being here and watching. Let's go say hi to the cast. Um, almost there. Tickfaw Files has literally disappeared from my Streamlabs menu. There we go.
What?
Hi, there we go. I have to keep scrolling through my scenes, and it just kept going past Tickfaw Files every single time I'd scroll up or down. Streamlabs been having some issues. Hi, everybody. We're back for another episode of Tickfaw Files. I'm actually pretty excited because we are hopefully going to get out of the forest and live and not die. We'll see. But as past me mentioned, sponsors Fundamental RPG and Grinding Coffee Company. That's grindingcoffee.co. If you use the code RAVVYN, you get 13% off of your order, and it's really freaking good coffee. So yeah, we're gonna go do intros. I'm gonna pass everything off to Rowan, but I'll put some links for the sponsors and everything in the chat here.
Well, me? It's my turn?
Rowan.
Hi.
Yes,
it's me.
It is your turn.
Yes, this is me. I'm partially distracted. It's been one of those days. Hi, I'm Rowan North. I'm a freelance illustrator and art educator. You can find my stuff at rowannorthillustrations.org, which I'll put a link in the chat, that way. I have to remember that cameras are reversed. Anyways, so, this is the Tickfaw Files. For those of you who are just joining us for the first time, the Tickfaw Files is placed in 2040 in Louisiana near the Tickfaw River. So everyone is living in the small town of Springfield, Louisiana, which is about an hour away from New Orleans and bigger towns of that nature. Little tourist trap type town. And there was a string of murders that caused the tourist industry to completely dry up. So these are our locals who are going to investigate, and they are currently in another world. This world is the world of the fairies, and they are being privy to a wedding of some of the fairy folk. With that said, let us introduce our players and their characters. So let's go first to Riley. Would you care to introduce yourself and Jonas?
Yes. Hello, I am Riley. I play Jonas. Jonas is the cinnamon roll of the group. He is the human, like Dick's also human, but Jonas is a non-fey touched human. He's just a magic human. He just learned magic. And he just is just trying to make everybody happy, but he's also kind of like, oh, this guy seems like a bad news, but I don't know how, but he also seems like good news, but I don't know how. So he's a little confused boy. I'm Riley. I'm a knit and crochet designer and YouTuber, so I will put different links out in the chat wherever it is at this point in time.
Doot doot. Yeah, I know. I'm like, wee, this way. Just think opposite day. Yeah.
This way.
We can't see you point. You're not in the.
It's this way. I'm pointing in both directions. So.
That doesn't help. That doesn't help. No, stop it. You know, as punishment, you get to go next. You introduce yourself and your character.
Oh no, anything but that. Hi, I'm Raven. I'm a tabletop streamer. I also do literally just about everything involved with tabletop, from game design to art. I do voice acting and professional game master, all kinds of stuff. And I play Dick, whose real name is Primrose Bellaroo, but she goes by Dick because she's a private investigator. And as was mentioned, she is Fey touched. And hey, thanks for that host. And as such, she knows how dangerous it is for others to know your real name. So she goes by Dick, and has gone to great lengths to make sure nobody knows her real name. She's from New Orleans, and like I said, she's a private investigator. She's very much a all humans are assholes and all Fae are assholes type of person. So she's sort of like kind of just judges people as individuals, is kind of interesting because in this story, there's definitely like the Fae versus the humans kind of dynamic going on. So that means she can get along with either side, and more often than not, she just ends up pissing off both sides. So it's fun.
Very great. I have to say, there's kind of an irony with Dick trying so hard to cover up their name and just you announcing it to the world like, oh, this is Primrose Bellaroo. Nope. Nobody knows her name except everybody now knows her name.
But not in the game.
I know.
It's meta knowledge. Although
it is funny.
There is some irony that she has a fedora with a rose on it.
Fair enough. Although primroses and roses are different things. Anyways, let's go next to Vanessa, my sweet friend.
Yes, hello. I'm Vanessa. I am primarily a watercolor artist. I work with watercolor and pencil sketch, and recently been getting more into digital art. And I play Mira, who is a red cap fairy, which is essentially the fairy version of a vampire. She has to consume human blood to stay alive, which thankfully hasn't led to too many disasters over the course of the campaign, for which I am thankful. Nobody's gotten too hurt. Sorry, Savoy. But yeah, she's the grump of the group, and she matches perfectly to Jonas's cinnamon roll. So that's fun. Yeah, that's Mira.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. Last but not least, that's you, Yaz. You are up.
Yay!
Yay!
I'm Yasmin, or Bodelia. I am a graphic illustrator and fantasy artist. My website is currently under construction, or I would send it to you. Otherwise, you follow me on Twitter to see more of my artwork, or on Instagram. My full name, Yasmin Tatiana. And I play Savoy, who is kind of like the grump of the group, the grumpy cat, as we were laughing about earlier. They're kind of like the no nonsense, no funny business kind of character, but they are also the host of the host for a changeling, Zahil. Getting my names mixed up. And Zahil is the complete antithesis of them, wild and crazy and all the nonsense forever. And that's it.
Fabulous. Thank you so very much. Without any further ado, let's review what happened last time. Last time, we did the parade. Basically, you're going through the events of the Fox Moth tradition and culture. So for the wedding, so you went through the path through the woods, and there were some shenanigans there. These woods are corrupted; they are ill. So as you were going through, you guys were losing sanity. There were places where it was so extremely dark in the forest. The water was like black and bracken. There was, what was it? The tree itself is infected. It's just a whole bunch of different things. Lots of paranoia going on here. Just the feeling that things are weird. And all of you guys got a little pissed off. Why was that?
Well, Zahil wasn't having such a great time because the foxes painted the king in such a way that it just made everything that he's done sound far more manipulative. And Zahil took it very personally.
Yeah.
But Zahil was also given a lot of really good information about how the rest of the people are being treated in the kingdom.
Yeah, I know that Jonas especially was upset about that, how people are treated thing, right?
Yeah, Jonas was upset about that, as well as I think he's getting a little bit disheartened and annoyed because he's just like, dude, I'm trying my best. Like, I realize, like, humans, we have a long way to go, but gosh, like, come on.
Well, they're not holding it against you. I mean, you were invited to their wedding.
Yeah.
Yes, and I was
but it
told
kind
of
of
what
felt
a
like
privilege it was that I was invited.
it
Sure.
really felt like we were more of like a joke waiting to happen.
Sure.
Yeah, I think Dick did get that vibe as well. It's like here's our token humans. Let's wait and see how they ruin the party or make a scene.
Yeah, pretty much.
It wasn't overt, but there was that hint of it there. It's interesting.
So you guys made it through the woods back without a problem. Yeah, it was kind of interesting going through that dark area without the lanterns, but you all have cell phone lights and things like that and figured that out relatively well. And everything has returned to partying and dancing and things like that. Zahil, you are still in control and you still have this fox on your arm. Where the hell is Savoy?
Savoy has felt really, really out of their element here.
I guess so. She's like, okay, here, you go.
But I can roll for Savoy taking control back. I can guarantee the fox babe is not going to appreciate Savoy as much as Zahil, though.
Yeah, well, and more than that, Zahil learned some juicy secrets from this fox to kind of say, like, satisfy you.
Okay. Let's see. Oh no, Savoy totally lost their cool. Unless you want to swap that, and Zahil's lost.
No.
Cool.
No. Yeah, no, Zahil is still there. In fact, I think.
Yeehaw! You guys are stuck.
I love how everyone has adopted yeehaw, and it's all Vanessa's fault.
Vanessa's fault.
How do you yeehaw, my fellow cowpokes?
You're welcome.
Oh my goodness.
It's great.
No, no, that's fine. Savoy's just taking a nap.
Savoy is just far too out of control here. That's all. That's what it is.
Yeah, just internally screaming the whole time, but it's fine.
Exactly.
I mean,
leader they are.
Well, here's the thing: is Savoy is privy to everything that Zahil is hearing and experiencing as well. So
correct.
They also heard what this fox lady said about basically they don't really have a choice in the matter and don't all share those feelings. So
right. Zahil's just rolling with the blows at the moment, but Savoy is totally like losing their cool. I mean,
they're like, oh my gosh,
lose their cool.
Seriously. And then everyone else was kind of negative on the whole experience / neutral. I think Mara was relatively neutral, wasn't she? Or was she annoyed as well?
She wasn't I guess untouched by the whole thing, but she's not at the point where she's like super riled up about it or anything.
Nah, she was kind of more mixed feelings because she feels a bond with the humans and plus still doesn't like the humans kind of thing, right?
Yeah, it's like fuck the humans, but not these humans because they're mine. So she just doesn't really know where she falls at the moment because she's been trying so hard to kind of focus on what affects her now and where she is at the moment instead of letting that kind of toxic all humans suck seep into her. So I don't know, kind of thinking about humanity as a whole again is not what she wants to do. She would much rather focus on the party members who are friends of hers now. So it's more so a little uncomfortable, I would think.
Yeah. Naomi's surprisingly more neutral on everything. And what was Dick's reaction again? Remind me.
Dick's reaction was pretty much that whole, like, I don't understand what the big deal is. Like, all humans are assholes and all fairies are assholes.
Right, so neutral.
Why can't we just all be assholes together? But Dick really didn't understand everybody else's anger about the whole thing. Her reaction was more just like, why are we going through all this rigmarole when you want the pieces of your heart back and you want us to get them for you, but you're purposely making it hard for us to do that for you. Why?
Right. Okay. Thank you for reminding me. Just everyone's. So those are the feelings that you guys take with you back to the party. Now the bride and groom are there. As part of the party. So there's like, you know how wedding receptions, they'll sometimes have a line and stuff. So there's some of that going on where there's people crowded around the bride and groom of the Foxmoth people. At the same time, there is most are just still partying. Now the Foxmoth people are losing inhibitions a little bit. They're willing to drink more and things like that. But mostly it's just partying and dancing. And yeah, you guys are still feeling kind of about the whole thing. That is when one of the people who greeted you, one of the foxes that greeted you when you first came, approaches you and says, "We are most grateful for you participating in the festivities that we have. We has arranged many more rooms for you and want to make sure that room organization is set out on the side. You are our most humble guests. We would like to take care of you and have invited to stay with us this evening. So, tell me this is correct." Turns to you, Dick, and Naomi, and says, "One room for you two." And Naomi just goes pale, and she goes, "What?" Wait, no.
Dick just grins and doesn't say anything. Just is like, sure.
She's like, wait, no, wait, no, that's two separate rooms. It's like, oh, are you not here together? My mistake. And she's like, no, we're here together. Just can we two separate rooms, please? And it's like, I don't understand. If you are here together, you must have one room. Oh.
Dick is just like arms crossed with like one hand over her mouth, just doing the
It's like,
really trying hard not to laugh.
Well, you see, it in human culture, dating takes many forms. Okay, so one room. Oh god.
I'm just so mad of it.
Yeah, Dick is just enjoying the whole thing and just goes, I think it might be better not to confuse them.
Are fairies so simple? I don't know. Is that rude to say? I'm so sorry, Mira, to heal if
Dick's just like pinching the picture and I was like, yes, that's rude to say.
I'm so sorry.
Zahil's
They're
just
not
like
simple.
quietly cackling in the corner.
Dick's just like, they're not simple. They're just different. Anything, they're too complicated sometimes.
Okay, but so their courting rituals are very
Different.
okay. Different.
Zahil just calls from the side where they're at. You mean different as in straightforward, right?
Oh,
Dick just like leans back so that Naomi can't see what she's doing and just raises a hand up in the air with a thumbs up towards the heel.
Zahil goes back to what they're doing.
well, I mean, I guess I can say that at least they know what they want.
It'll be fine. I don't bite much.
She likes to go stick straight. Then the fox moth turns to Jonas and Mira. It's like, and a room for both of you. One room. I has question about the Miss Lily. Will she room with you two?
Yes.
That means you must not have the sex if she's in the room. That is not
have the
proper for
sex.
children.
We will not have the sex while the child is in the room, but the child will be coming with us. Thank you.
Lily's like, ooh, the sex. What is that?
No.
I'll tell you all about it, but you have to wait a few years before you do anything.
Okay.
Okay, Mira, you're telling Lily all about it tonight.
Mira, what do you say about that?
Sorry, I just had dogs running around. I was trying to take care of that. Mira's not too concerned. Just rolls her eyes. She's just like, yeah, definitely gonna be me.
That's funny. And then she finally turns to Zahil and says, Kala, are you taking this esteemed guest back to your house? And the fox that heretofore you did not know the name of.
That's okay. I don't need to know her name to get the job done.
I was drinking Rockstar when you said that.
So Kala titters and says, well, that is up to them, I would say. It is only polite.
Zahil does that thing where they brush across her cheek with the back of their fingers and gently rests a finger on her lips and says, well, I did not want to be impolite and assume, but if you'll have me, I'll be had.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm curious about what Savoy's inner dialogue is saying at this moment.
Yeah.
Savoy's screaming has intensified.
Is it cheating if it's a heel?
Oh.
Or is Tilda just like, yeah, no, I'd fuck a fairy.
Oh. Yeah, no, Tilda's not gonna care.
Amazing.
Zahil can do what Zahil wants.
Savoy's just gonna be traumatized afterwards. That's fine.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I'm trying to keep it PG-13, but immediately my thoughts are just in performance anxiety. Savoy comes back.
You don't want to know how that whole thing goes.
Oh yeah.
That's a mess.
But in all seriousness, yeah, Tilda wouldn't care about whatever Zahil wants to do. If it was Savoy, she might be like, let's have a conversation first. But otherwise, she wouldn't care.
Amazing. Score 1 for Zahil, I guess.
Sleeping with the locals.
Hey, you have your foot in the door as far as the local society goes.
When in Rome,
Hey.
right?
Do what the Romans do. Drink a lot and have a lot of fun times.
And take baths and eat food in your bath at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know. And die
As you
in
do.
volcano blasts. What?
Rowan. Soon.
Vesuvius is too soon.
Pompeii, like, historically speaking, just happens too soon.
Amazing. So I love how everyone's laughing at that one.
I'm trying
Okay.
to behave so much right now.
We all are. I swear, we're all on one tonight. So as that, you are set to your own devices. Back to the partying. What? Riley.
It's like everybody's just been doing this. Yep.
Uh-huh. Head bobbing increases, intensifies. So the host whatever Fox is attending you says, I will lead you to the rooms once festivities are over, or you can tell me if you are tired and I can lead you there sooner. You will just have to find me. It may be hard in the dancing.
I think Dick's gonna put an arm around Naomi's shoulder and goes, yeah, just let me know if you get tired. Get back to the room.
Naomi like kind of stiffens. It's like, oh, okay.
And then Dick just pulls her arm away and just chuckles.
I feel like you enjoy that a little, like the teasing me thing, a little too much. Or just enough? No, too much.
Dick just looks at her and goes, oh, just let me know what you decide and I'll adjust from there.
Oh, like about when to go to the room, not about
If I'm teasing you too much, then I'll pull it back.
No, it's all right. I'm not used to that. So
Dick just sort of smirks. Just lets her be awkward.
she's really good at being awkward. So what do you guys do with the rest of the evening? There's a lot of dancing. Are you guys like I know that Zahil, you did hear some interesting things. Are you gonna scrounge for more information along those lines? Because you have special insight no one else really does.
Right. does Zahil have an opportunity to share that information with their party members?
You would have to probably pull them aside. There are places where there's less foxes, plus there is that music going on, with the most fantastical instruments. You're pretty sure that what they are playing are plants, but it sounds like woodwind instruments and things like that. So I mean,
Okay.
like actual
Zahil
brass.
is going to help themselves to the drink again, not really knowing what it's doing to them. And we'll think of what to do. So come back to me in a minute.
Okay. Mira and Jonas, Lily really wants two things, and but the first priority is snacks, and she demands treats again. Of course. But she also kind of wants to dance. Since Mira, you danced with Lily, and that was really, really fun. But now she kind of wants to dance with Jonas.
Aww. Yeah.
That's a
So
Mira-
Jonas.
Oh.
Oh no! What was Mira doing?
I was just gonna say, Mira can like let you guys dance, and she can go get some snacks for Lily and see if there's anything that's not too weird over there.
I mean, it's relatively normal food. You've got your fairy wines, berries, mushrooms.
It's very normal food. Fairy wine.
I told you. It's a berry-based wine,
Now-
and there's ciders, and
Now, when you say mushrooms,
I'm talking
like- shiitake mushrooms or like Mario mushrooms?
no, they aren't eating the red spotted mushrooms. Come on, that's poisonous even to fairies. Yeah, no, leave the amanitas out of here. So, no, they're just your regular, like, gray cap, some wood ear mushrooms, puff mushrooms, the things that you can actually eat. It is quite the arrangement of edible mushrooms, though. And I'm not talking drugs. Get out of here with that.
I didn't say anything.
Some might.
I only strongly implied it.
Mira would probably use like the material of her dress to make a little pouch, you know, how you would do with your shirt when you were a kid, and just put some little snacks in there and bring them back to her for when they're done dancing.
There's also like nuts, there's little biscuits, there's tarts. I think I've mentioned fruit tarts, things like that. Just a very, very like woodland spread of delicious things. Dried meats, dried fruits, all that.
Yeah, she'd probably take like a little bit of each thing. Probably more so like the fruits.
Perfect. So, Jonas.
Yes.
So Lily immediately goes and is like, I can stand on your feet. That way I can maybe reach your hands.
Hop on. So Jonas just like puts his feet so that she'll be able to like stand on them and like grabs her hands.
Yeah, so you do the awkward waddle dance that dads do with the little girls.
Yeah.
Super cute.
And then he'll like periodically like pick her up just a little bit and spin her and then put her back on his feet.
She goes, whee!
Or like he'll like set her off balance so that she'll like fall backwards, but her feet will still be on his feet, but it's like he's dipping her backwards without actually like a normal dip, but like a child dip.
Child dip.
A witch's favorite snack.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Hansel.
Is it Hansel or Gretel flavor?
You eat it with gingerbread.
Okay.
Forget hazelnut. It's
I need to-
hazelnut.
Filtered. I filtered. Okay, let's keep going.
My goodness. Okay. So, Dick, how about you? You and Naomi, are you continuing to dance? Are you going off to talk? Are you still kind of investigating what people are saying or their reactions? Not, a bit more about what they're doing here, that this is kind of like a olive branch to humans, just how they're reacting around you now that you have more free time. What are you doing?
Let's see. I would like to look for any place that might have secrets or confidential information that I could charm my way into.
Interesting. Those are two interesting things, because specifically, okay, there is the bride and groom that does require charm if you want to talk to them. You do see kind of cliques of foxes. To know more, I think you'll have to roll investigate a mystery.
Is there a building?
There is the houses up in the trees. There's not really a building.
Like tree houses?
Yes. They span from tree to tree.
Okay. And then Tenryu, I was under the impression that there's a castle somewhere.
Yes.
Is that like further off?
That is beyond these forests. You do not see a castle anywhere.
Okay, we are further away from the castle than I thought we were.
You are quite a ways away from the castle, yes.
Awesome. It feels like this is so productive what we're doing right now.
Well, that's why I'm saying, like, are you going to look for more information?
No, I was looking for a way to use Jessica Jones' entry, which would be some really cool stuff, but there's not really a way to do that right here.
But please, roll investigate a mystery for me, because there is things happening. Maybe.
Nope.
Oh, damn. Would you like to add
But I level up finally.
a die to that? No, you'd rather level up?
No, I would rather level up.
Dang. Okay, so you don't recognize anything really out of the ordinary. Yes, there are your cliques, your little crowds of foxes that are coming in. There are the houses in the trees that you can kind of look at. It's kind of interesting because they don't really have a way in that is visible, really. So it seems like the foxes actually fly in and out from there, and you actually do see like foxes kind of fly in and fly out from them. So you're like, how are they gonna how are they gonna get us up there?
Yeah.
But the houses themselves, some of them are connected by bridges, but ultimately they're definitely like rely most on their flying. Other things that you are able to notice as you're kind of looking around, all the lights seem to come from these plants, like these Asian lantern type flowers. Yeah, so that's really it. Everything seems oddly normal. Let's go back to Zaheel. Have you decided what to do?
Yes.
You do have this lady on your arm still.
Right. So Zaheel's going to very coyly pick up her hand and kiss that and kiss up her arm until they are given consent to kiss her cheek. And whether or not she gives consent, they do say would not mind allowing me to part from you just a moment. I'm sure that there are some folks that might want to see you, and I don't want to keep you from your friends, and I just wanted to check in with mine.
Okay, that is not a problem here. In fact,
And
I think I will help myself to many snacks.
Zahil gives her like a little nuzzle and like sort of picks after her, picking up a glass for themselves in a very Savoy-like manner, and catches Mira as she's returning back to Jonas and Lily.
Okay. So Mira, you're returning with your snacks.
Yes.
And Zahil reaches around you to grab snacks out of your like little basket you've made.
Mira like snaps her teeth at him or at them, kind of like not in any sort of
Malicious way.
Yeah, but just like a little like back off kind of gesture, and makes a low hissing sound, and she's just like, "Hey, get your own snacks. These are for Lily."
Zahil responds by kind of like fluffing their feathers up and indignantly sticking one of the mushrooms in their mouth. But as they do so they pop it in their mouth and then they reach out and they kind of just set like a finger on her shoulder, and the most serious expression crosses their face. And in as basic terms as possible, they convey the same information that the fox fairy had given them earlier. And for the life of me, I cannot remember those details.
Okay. So the details are basically they don't all feel the way that this guy's big speech was. Basically it is all it was all just pomp and them talking up the situation and things like that. They don't all feel that way, but they don't all have really a choice. They kind of have to play along. There's two ways to kind of take that. The fact that they have ulterior motives, that maybe some of them mean you harm. There's that they're kind of stuck in this situation, this cycle. I can't really say their true feelings. There's a whole lot that you can read into there.
Okay. So Zahil info dumps on Mira and then gives them a cheeky little smile and like does the finger underneath the chin and is like, I hope you have a great night.
Mira visibly tries to grab after Zahil as they leave, and she looks down at the food in her little dress pocket kind of thing, and she just looks between the snacks and Zahil and the snacks. She's like, "Damn it, Zahil, you can't just do that." And then
they blow her a kiss and like a ta-ta.
She snaps her teeth again, but it's a little more vicious this time. So before it was just a, hey, get your hands off my snacks. Now it's, I'm gonna break your fingers.
Zahil is very pointedly like licking the tips of their fingers as they walk away.
She grinds her teeth together a little bit, and it it makes her pointed ears kind of like twitch a little bit in annoyance. But she decides that she's not going to make a spectacle of this fine evening, and she just goes back to Jonas and Lily with the snacks.
So Lily goes from happily dancing and just enjoying herself to immediately stopping everything and almost like pulling Jonas's arms right the fuck off to go, snacks! Just dive bombs Mira.
As you do.
Yeah.
Mira lowers herself into like a crouch so that Lily can have her pick of the snacks in her little dress pocket thing.
She's like, she just grabs a whole bunch in her hands. There's berries and nuts in one hand and mushrooms and a tart in the other, and she's just
What would have like would there have been anything on the table that was like a little fancier, maybe that Lily wouldn't have immediately gone for? Like something nicer?
I mean, the tarts are pretty nice. Those are pretty fancy looking tarts.
I'd say that
There's cream
I'd say that Mira
puffs.
probably put like one of the plainer tarts in the little dress pocket. But when Lily like pulls out her handfuls, Mira adjusts it so that she's holding onto the front of her dress with one hand, and she like reaches into the pocket and pulls out like one of the nicer tarts or like the cream puffs or whatever it is. And then she takes a bite of it, and then she holds out the rest to Lily.
Okay, Mira, you haven't had the snack yet, have you?
No.
All right, then take a point of sanity.
I figured, but you know what? Do it for the cute.
Yeah, it's yummy.
Super cute.
It's yummy, but you do feel that oddness at the same time. It's like, this is really good. It's not poisonous. There's not really magic. It's not like cursed food. It's just like the overall weirdness that you felt about this whole place.
How I don't know if it's more so just kind of background knowledge, but how is this sort of ordeal different than what Mira would have experienced in her own realm? Like, is it because everything is like sick? Is that why?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So what you're saying
Go
is
ahead and roll. Sorry. Go ahead.
we need to get up and get down with the sickness.
No.
I knew you were gonna say that. Shut up. As soon as you started speaking, I knew that's what you were gonna say, and I hate that.
We've been hanging out too much, guys.
Oh no.
Fart.
So, Mira.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll weird for me.
That's a 7.
That's a mixed success. So I'm gonna treat this weird roll like investigate a mystery, but very specific to magic. So you can ask a question, just like you would with investigate a mystery. But it's specifically pertaining. It's like making an Arcana check almost, right? So you feel this kind of odd weirdness, and you're like, "What is this doing?" Or "Where's this coming from?" You can ask one of those. Meeble says that Joke was very disturbed.
Suddenly, you know what, guys? Suddenly I have to go. I'm so sorry to have to, but you know what? My mom's calling right now. I gotta leave. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Just the Jesus
Mira-
Christ under your breath.
Mira knows obviously that this is where this is coming from. I would probably say that she can make an educated guess to link the stuff that she saw with the trees versus, you know, obviously fruit that's coming from the same soil and environment. So I probably
Yeah.
wouldn't. That's the question. Geez, I don't know. Can maybe some more information on like how it's specifically affecting the body and why I mean in player terms why it's costing sanity.
Okay. Yes. Sure. So you kind of focus on this cream puff as you swallow, like what is going on here, and you suddenly feel your consciousness actually kind of seems to follow this sick magic almost, and you feel yourself like in the shoes of this ill prince, and just this feeling of sorrow, immense just sorrow and bitterness and anger, and just it seeping into the soil and the earth. You see the people becoming wrong as well, just interact with the world, that they themselves have become not right. This wasn't the way that they were before, that they have changed.
Right.
And not in a good way. And that is why it's not affecting them.
Okay. Makes sense.
So you get this like almost like out of body experience from following this line. But then you're kind of back to reality as Lily keeps shoveling food in her mouth, seemingly unaffected. And you get a realization that this is why Lily's so strange.
Interesting. Yeah, because she said that she'd been here before. Like this is where she was, right?
Yes. This is her home. She knows these woods very well. She went and played with a bear in the woods. And
Is like, can Mira notice anything magic wise surrounding Lily as she's eating this food? Like, is there any indication that, or physical, like visible indication that it's not really doing anything? Like, is there, how should I word it?
how it's not affecting her?
Yeah, like I can visualize what I'm trying to ask and I can't put it into words. Is there any physical or visual lack, I guess, of like magic? You know what I mean? Like a sign that it's just being absorbed into her like would be regular food.
Not that you can see, because you already kind of asked your question. So you don't see necessarily anything, but you just know that that's probably why she acts so wacky. That's all you can really gather.
Yeah. Just in response, Mira reaches out and just like puts her hand on one of Lily's cheeks and just leaves it there for a second before taking her hand back.
She does chipmunk cheeks because she's like so full of food, and she's just like, hey, if you press down harder, I can do a trick. Want to see?
You're not going to spit food at me, are you?
No!
Mira reaches out and smushes her cheek.
She spits cherry pits out. Like,
that gets a little like a little laugh from Mira. She like snorts a laugh.
Lily starts laughing as well. Then she grabs another handful of like cherry and pit fruits and is just like shovels them in her mouth and chews. And then she's like, "We're Jonas." Actually, I've got the perfect prop for this. You ready?
Oh no.
I actually have cherries.
Jonas would have been
Oh,
watching
no.
this whole thing. So
It's
like,
like,
he'd pretend like he
Jonas!
didn't know what was happening. He'd be a good sport and pretend like he didn't know what was happening. What, Lily?
That's my cheese.
Okay.
And she spits out cherry bits at you.
Ugh.
Wait, you purged ants?
Yeah, I committed ant genocide earlier this week. It's a trigger response.
Oh my god.
They were in my house. There was thousands of them.
Oh no.
I mean, you're not wrong, but that's such a funny way to put that. And by funny, I mean kind of disturbing.
I can just
Exactly what happened.
imagine.
Disturbed.
No,
Full on.
Yep.
Full
no.
on murder.
That joke was a full
All the
20
ants running
minutes
around
long.
going, "Oh wow!"
All I can imagine is like a Mr. Oogie Boogie type situation where like you're like spitting out ants all over.
No,
Like,
it doesn't.
Oh god.
Why?
Ugh.
Why?
because purging. I don't know. That was not a sensible joke.
I get it now.
I'm sorry.
Oh gosh.
Rowan, why are you the way you are?
I apologize. As someone who has
Oh
dealt
my
with an eating
God.
disorder in the past, I apologize. They went too real. Okay.
Too real. Too soon.
Anyways.
Too soon.
It's like on The Office. Then Michael starts making fun of himself, and then he like makes himself cry. It's like too far.
It's amazing. Gosh.
Oh goodness. Meanwhile, back at the wedding.
Meanwhile, back at the wedding, where no one is throwing up ants, thankfully. Can you guys tell me
Thank God
what
for that.
your sanity is at?
Well, I'm sitting here going, hey, it could be worse. Somebody could be puking up ants. So I'd say pretty so-so.
Wow,
Zahil
that's so
is-
player. Player sanity has gone down simply by being my friend. I have gone next level with my horror writing. I'm a horror
Zahil
writer.
is
So
at
meta.
7. Zahil is at 7,
7.
but they've
Okay,
also
so
had
you're-
more of the fairy wine. So I don't know if you want to adjust for that.
Okay, yeah, let's take one more hit. Nope. Take one more point of sanity damage.
Okay.
Oh Yaz, you're too honest.
I played to the character, and I think that this whole sanity thing could be like a legit interesting storytelling thing. So I'm on
Oh,
board.
there's things. What about Dick, all you're investigating, Naomi does say, I am kind of thirsty.
Dick will hold out two flasks.
Oh.
Bourbon or Ravine tea.
Oh, is there something wrong with the food here? I mean, it really does look good.
Yeah, it kind of messes with your head. It's kind of in the fun way at first, and then it gets really not fun. Like you start seeing X's that are dead out in the forest.
Do you think it
Kinda
was the
not
food
fun.
that caused that?
I feel like it was a contributing factor.
Okay. Then I trust you. I will, let me try Verbane tea, I guess.
It's gonna be better, but it's better than, going insane.
Well, I mean, it's not like I haven't had bitters in my alcohol before.
There you go. Hey, that's a good idea. You could mix the two.
They're both
I've
flat.
been doing this all. Anyway, here you go.
Sandwiched together.
Pretty much. Pretty much. That ain't bad.
Wow. Wow, you
Anyway,
are
she'll hand the flask.
almost could be a barkeeper.
Bartender, alcoholic. It's
Same thing?
not always the same thing, but there's a lot of there's a lot of shared skills there.
That's fair. You know, I would really want water, especially since alcohol dehydrates you. But that's, well, I guess not an option. That might be a problem.
Might be.
Okay. So, your sanity, you lost 3 points of sanity, correct, Dick?
Yeah, I'm at 5 right
You're
now.
at 5. So you're not unstable. You managed to stabilize yourself using the phone light and music.
Yes. I remember Dick was like, I think listening to Daft Punk or something like that, just staring at the bright phone screen for a while. Investigating made you thirsty.
No.
Pretty sure Naomi's another kind of thirsty.
No.
I'm filtering so I didn't finish that sentence.
No.
So aren't you proud?
I'm the one who doesn't have a filter. No, I'm kidding.
I'm proud of you.
Yay.
Thank you.
At least someone is. What?
Meanwhile, back in the creepy forest,
Yes.
where it's still depressing.
Yeah. So, Dick, because of your sanity, you're noticing a few other things. A lot of people giving you dirty looks, side-eye glances. You feel like they're like watching you over their shoulder. Just very, very
Who's
dirty
the,
looks. The foxes.
Who's the first one that gives me a dirty look? What do they look like?
It looks like a fox. It's a fox lady in a green dress wearing a deer mask.
Okay. Dick looks right at them, holds up their left hand like a fist, with the outside of their hand facing them, and then acts like they're winding up the side. And they start going do 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 do. They finish it, and at the end, it's just boop, middle finger up.
Yeah, and they're like, "Huh?" And you get that funny feeling, like maybe you imagined them giving you dirty looks. She looks honestly confused.
Dick just shrugs.
Naomi is also like, "What? Wait,
Oh, well.
why did you? That wasn't. Aren't we not supposed to be pissing these people off?"
I mean, technically, it was strongly suggested, but, you know, if they're already giving me dirty looks, then they're already pissed off, so...
I didn't see anyone give you dirty looks, Dick.
See, this is why I said don't eat the food.
Should we leave? Should we go rest? Maybe check in with the others, make sure that they're okay.
No, Riley, don't even.
No.
Don't even give Rowan ideas. You know, that might not be a bad idea. I'm still feeling a little off, and I could use,
Okay.
you know, just some. I don't need to be alone. Just need to not be in all of this for a little bit.
Okay.
Don't be a mimic. Don't be a mimic. Don't be a mimic.
Mimics can't be people. They end up weird. You know this, people. Come on. You know the physiology of the mimic now.
I know.
So, Naomi does suggest let's go check in with everyone first. And with that, that's when we're going to take a break.
Woot! We'll be back in about 10 minutes. We're going to go stretch our legs, and I highly recommend doing the same. Get some water, make sure you stay hydrated, snacks, whatever you need, and we'll be ready. And yeah, keep going, people. That's great.
Yeah, we're just laughing. As you see us dropping. Excellent. Okay, so Mira, you also have prime information now, thanks to Zahil.
Yeehaw. Yes.
That's by the way, Yasmin, that is not a disturbed pun.
I know.
Stop. How dare you?
But it was
Combo
funny, huh?
breaker. No, only disturbed songs allowed on my watch. I mean, I don't know.
On your-
So, okay. Yeah, Mira, you have prime information now. The same information. Zahil, I assume you return to the Fox afterwards, or do you go to continue to spread the word?
The heel is going to kind of linger at the sidelines and observe everybody for a minute. Zeal
Okay.
knows that their people are fairly good with themselves, but Zahil is a little bit leery about everybody else.
Yes. Okay. So the other foxes or everyone?
The foxes are perhaps the fox's intentions towards their. So they're observing out of a protective manner.
Okay. Why don't you read a bad situation, perhaps?
That's sharp, right?
Yes.
Jesus. My rolls tonight are garbage. Can I go ahead and use a luck point?
You can.
Cool. I will use the luck point, and that gives me a 12, right?
Yes, like you automatically succeed.
Yeah.
Honestly, I could even wow, I just saw that the coloring book art for the cover and back. Wow, that's gorgeous. Okay, anyways, I got distracted. Okay. Read a bad situation. You get to hold 2. And then I'll probably give you something extra because this is a luck point. So some things that you wouldn't see normally. I would say that also, once again, like I've been doing, is investigate a mystery. If any of the questions there apply better, we can do that. But read a bad situation is, the questions: what's my best way in? What's my best way out? Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat? What's the most vulnerable to me? What's the best way to protect the victims? And then if you decide to do investigate a mystery instead, is what happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here?
How to protect the victims would be the first one.
And so you're mostly concerned about the party, especially the humans.
Correct.
Okay. So upon sitting, like perching there, and they definitely seem to drop their guard a little around you. As you are Fae, they are clearly like going out of their way to be polite and kind to the humans, and to behave themselves as best as they can. You do overhear snatches of conversation, where they are talking quietly amongst themselves, and in different language, even like clearly common or English is not their first language. I would say that fairy, Fae tongue, probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can understand that, and there are definitely mixed feelings. There's definitely a lot more brewing under the surface here. You hear like, I can't believe that we have to go out of our way for them. I hope Temryu knows what he's doing. There is some back talk about Temryu even, where they're like, that washed up prince, what has he ever done for us? He claims that we are his people, and yet here we are catering to someone else for a momentous occasion that should be for us. They actually, you overhear the wedding is staged. Something about the wedding being staged, that this was an arranged event for the sake of bringing the humans here.
Zahil's gonna kind of attach to that information and sort of drift a little bit closer.
Okay.
Do they respond to Zahil, or do they notice them at all?
Why don't you roll me a thing? Roll act under pressure.
Was that sharp? Or
That's
cool, I mean?
That's cool.
Okay, I did okay.
Okay, so mixed success, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, mixed success. Okay. Let me do some reading here to let you know what's gonna happen, because I think I still get to make a hard move.
Mm-hmm.
But okay.
It's successful, or it's successful in a different way, but you get to make a hard move despite the success or whatever.
Going to give you a worse outcome, hard choice, or price to pay. Okay. So here's the options. Because what you're wanting is to eavesdrop some more, right? You're not
bit.
wanting. Are you wanting to shove?
Zahil doesn't really have like the concept of like stealth.
Okay.
Or like political intrigue. They just like shimmy on over, and if they notice Zahil's like, hey! If they don't, Zahil just quietly listens, awkwardly but very obviously.
So, okay. So if you had gotten full act under pressure, I would say that you've totally managed to like coolly make your way into this conversation, right? Because you got a mixed success, I would say you also need to manipulate someone. So immediately they kind of shut up as you come sidling in, and they start giving you kind of odd looks like, what are you doing here kind of situation.
Zahil gets to has a natural appeal. Would that work in this situation?
Can you describe to me that move?
So Zahil would kind of like, as soon as they noticed and clammed up around them, they would kind of just be like, oh, hey, I was feeling the same way. Like, all of this feels a little bit staged and a little too good to be true. Funny how humans show up, right?
I was actually talking about the move in the playbook.
Oh, sorry. It's a roll plus weird instead of plus charm when you manipulate somebody.
Yes, that will totally apply. Okay, so manipulating someone. What is that noise?
That's Zahil's victory scream.
Holy fuck, that's amazing. Okay.
That's the best roll I've ever had.
Yes. Meeble, yes, I've seen Emily Autumn. I've seen her live. So, anyways. So yeah, okay. You fully take control of the situation. Like, clearly they are 100% standoffish. They are like, ugh, what are you doing here? Like, you intruded on their conversation. You are an outsider still, even if you're Fae. And then you're just like, yeah, I actually noticed that this was kind of stage. That's kind of weird. What's up with that? And you just like put on that suaveness, and they're like, okay. They're
The
like,
heel charm.
they are like, you're not supposed to know that. Don't and they actually talk way better when they're talking in their natural language. So if I switch cadence, that is why. They're like, you were not supposed to know that. We were not supposed to mention that. Don't bring that up at all.
Zahil does
If-
the zipper lips.
If
it's
your
like, of
human
course.
friends,
I won't
like-
say a thing.
like, you better not say anything to your human friends either. That's especially.
I will not tell my human friends that this whole shindig is a setup.
Okay. That seems to be enough for them. They kind of calm down a little bit. You're like, I will not tell my human friends. I will not tell my human friends.
Savoy is a totally different person.
That is true. They are like, yes, I mean, isn't it? It's obviously too convenient that, our biggest royal wedding would take place just at the same time that you're coming to see the prince in this castle and things like that.
It is funny how that works. Why do you think that it would be a setup though? Like,
Oh no, there's no thinking about it. It absolutely was. They're brother and sister.
and just like this look of like, ah,
They're not actually getting married.
Zahil's face. Like, oh god, why?
They're not actually married or couple. It's just this is one tribe.
Right. So
If this was going to be a proper marriage, then obviously it would be with one of our warring tribes.
So Zahil kind of gets like this look in their eyes, and they sort of switch directions just a little bit. And they ask, well, what would be the point of doing that? Is it for the Fae or is it for them?
Them as in the humans? Absolutely. We're putting on a show. Is it not a show? We are showing, putting our best foot forward. We are giving them the ultimate of hospitality that we can be that fairies can have, giving them a taste of culture. And the way they say that is kind of ugh. Basically, its idea was entirely the prince's. He has something he wants to show for it, and I don't know why he's trying so hard to impress them.
Well, why couldn't he just show it? Humans are terribly straightforward.
Well, he certainly isn't. You don't know very much about him, do you?
I come from a different god.
Of course. I would think that, him sending you all through the rigmarole would, you would at least learn some things about how he functions at this point.
I take it that it's all part of his game.
All part of what?
His game. His game to prove that the humans. It doesn't feel like it's so much as a game to prove that the humans are worthy to be a part of your world. It feels like a game to prove that the humans aren't. But to get the pieces back regardless.
It honestly depends on what piece you're talking to.
What do you mean?
Each one has a different feeling on the matter, in a different way that they were taken and broken, right? On one hand, you have, the prince, the hopeful prince, who sees a brighter future. where we can settle this peacefully. But then you see the ones that are angry and bitter because the humans completely broke him, tore him apart, and is the reason why this land is so poisoned in the first place. So they're not at war with the humans. They're at war with themselves. And the humans just happen to be in the middle of it.
How wonderful. And what does that mean for you and your tribe?
Well, it just means that we do what? What choice do we have aside to do what he wants? What we want is for him to be in one piece again. That wasn't a lie. Hopefully get him back to his senses. I mean, you will not. One of the foxes actually laughs. It's like, you won't believe this, but no, you absolutely can believe this. But we are in disagreement with each other, all of us. There is very much tension among us about the situation.
Ezekiel just makes a really?
You wouldn't know. Yeah. No. Some are excited and really enjoying putting on a show for the humans. Absolutely. This is a chance to show off. Some still love the prince. I can't imagine why. But they are still very much loyal to him. Others think we should get this whole damn thing over with, and that the humans would be better off dead. And make the true show of war that's inevitably gonna come. Let's be real, we're just holding it off. But that's not all of our feelings. Us, we're kind of on the neutral, I would say, where we feel like this is stupid, don't agree with the prince, don't like the prince. We hate that we have to, put on this whole show in the first place. But it is, after all, a play, a game, not with the humans, but with himself.
I have such an inappropriate comment. Ezekiel would totally make. I will pass this time. I will not be totally inappropriate. Zahil just sort of like
type it in Zoom chat.
Ruffles up. Zahil ruffles their feathers up, and you can kind of like, you get the nod, and you're like, yeah, I can completely understand where you're coming from. And you know what? Those feelings are valid. Just because your king is inept at doing his job and taking care of his people doesn't mean that you all should suffer for that. And Zahil says it in a way that's meant to instigate the conversation. It's meant to kind of poke that button harder.
They're like, well, I wouldn't say that we're suffering. I mean, there certainly is some, how shall I say, classism, of course, among the fairy folk. But we are lucky enough to be on the higher end. I think that was fairly obvious from that flamboyant speech. We aren't exactly a chosen people like they made us sound, but in general, because we keep our nose down, our head down, the fact that we listen, the fact that we do what he wants, that has definitely gained us favor. Those who have not listened, and although oh god, he certainly seems to change his mind and is unstable on the best of days, often gets the short end of the stick, shall we say.
Well, And Zahil raises their small glass in their giant hand and says, "To brighter futures," and throws back their third drink of the night.
They're like, oh, we hear that. As you take this third drink and are looking at them in the eye, you get just a glimpse for a moment of what they really look like. As your sanity depletes, you see a bit more. And they are kind of gnarled, filthy looking almost, in tatters, and their eyes are black. Their wings are ratted. So although the glamour is what it should look like, maybe that pretty nature, it seems like they are as filthy as these woods.
Zahil kind of jokes for a second.
But the vision passes, and you don't
and
feel like
they
it's
covered
actually
up
like
with a cough.
you don't feel like it's actually glamour. You feel like that's just you're seeing underneath the skin, just that corruption.
Right. The way that rot spreads, or
Yes.
leprosy before it shows on the skin.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. So they've probably figured out a way to counteract it, or, you know, still be visible on the surface, but there's clearly like there's infection there as well.
Is this a good segue that Zahil feels that they could step away from this? Or do they
Sure.
look like they might offer more information?
No, they're kind of they obviously that this group is once again neutral to it. It's like we're treated fairly well. It's just that we have to, do what the prince says, depending
And then
upon
to
his
confirm,
will.
did you want me to take another sanity point?
Yes. Simply
Okay.
because I gave you that information. However,
Yeah, that's
that
fine.
information was mostly as your extra for the left point.
I will take it.
Hey,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
That was juicy, guys. Zahil's gonna step away and look back at everybody else, feeling a little bit queasy and feeling a little bit ready to start some shit.
You can see your little fox date kind of looking over at you worriedly, just like
Zahil will immediately respond to her, because the last thing that Zahil is a terrible date. So they schmooze over to her and give her like a little nuzzle, and sidles up to her side and fluffs their feathers and wraps a wing around her, tilts her chin up.
Yeah, she's like, are you okay? I saw you look concerned there for a moment. You should be very careful of who you talk to. You know that from what I said before, not everyone agrees, and not everyone is nice.
Zahil will kind of like pucker her lips up, like squeezing her face.
Little fox
bit.
lips.
And he's like, "It is fine, my dear. I did take that into account, and I just wanted to simply test the waters. But my friends seem fine, and so do yours." And Zahil gives her like a little twirl.
Okay, just remember to be safe. I can point out the maybe people to avoid, although avoiding is not very nice and polite in our cultures. We're not much different because fairies, base rules and all that, but the ones to be
Zahil is
wary.
like attaches onto that idea and sort of like droops themselves over her little shoulders and is like, and who should I purposely not avoid?
Purposefully.
Not. As in to avoid, but not avoiding.
Oh. Well, so she starts pointing out the different cliques going on in this party, right? She's like,
Yes.
well, you must understand. And luckily with like your wings kind of draped over her, she can like kind of talk in your wings and stuff so that she's a little muffled so they're not being overheard as much. She's like, there's 3 party groups that are on different sides of this issue. There is the group that you spoke to. I wouldn't say they're my friends, but they have similar feelings on the problem that we have. A little bit more extreme maybe, but that is one of the groups. They are definitely more vocal, but in general neutral to the issue. The idea of bending down and being quiet, but silently disapproving. Perhaps that wasn't what the humans call an innuendo.
Good job, my dear. Nose boop. Cute behavior is awarded with nose boops in this house.
She continues on. Next is the group that is the most loyal to the king. Prince. Well, he never became a king, you know.
Fascinating.
But that is much juicy. Goosey.
Have you been drinking too much?
No, only a little. A little. It's a little yeah, that's a little bit more of a juicy topic that we can discuss in more private setting.
Well,
it is much with the
for your
goss.
bedroom, my dear.
So she continues on. They are the most loyal to the prince and will follow him to the end. Although they do believe that he is a little bit mental, I think is a good human term for it. They fully believe that when the pieces are restored, that he will return to normal. In general, the neutral agree with this and just in general are quiet until the pieces are restored. So any hair-brained scheme that he must be coming up with, they will follow. Ooh, Michael, thank you so much for the $5.
A rubber ducky that Dick finds helpful for the reasons. That's 2 plot points, so that'll be moderately helpful.
A moderately
somehow.
helpful rubber ducky. I'll have to think about that one. Okay.
You know Dick is going to sing the rubber ducky song from Sesame Street,
no.
right?
Spare me. The
And
third
then-
of
Oh, cool. Go on.
And then the third of these groups are the ones that believe the prince is completely inept to rule and has never done a good job, and is the anarchist of this our society. In general, these people do not are usually kicked out, but there are some that secretly hold that rebellion in their hearts. They have become one of our warring tribes, although they were part of our people. But there is definitely among us people who conspire to start war. Although us, the other mothfoxes, will make sure that we'll try to make sure that the humans and I suppose human friends. I don't want to call you human supporter because that is not necessarily the most accurate. And I do not want to. Yes, human friends. They will try to make sure that you remain safe, but they could be anyone. And they will certainly try to start some things. As you saw, we actually managed to stop one earlier.
And what was that?
Do you remember the thing that was bothering the boy?
No, I don't remember the thing that was bothering the boy.
There was a glamored fox that was very heavy-handed.
Oh, that is correct. I'm surprised that I forgot such a babe.
I believe the official character name was Boobies McGee or something like that.
Boobs Mackenzie.
Right.
Boobs Mackenzie, that's what it was.
Oh, that is correct. Well, my sweet turtle dove, I do appreciate you looking out for me and my people.
Mm-hmm. So, in general, a rule of the thumbs is to probably want to stay away from the ones that are the most fancily dressed, because typically they are either in line with the prince because they are the most, well treated, or they are spies.
Up to no good.
Mm-hmm.
Zahil will dance with her for now and look for a good opportunity to sneak off again.
Of course. Yeah. Excellent. Now let's go back to our other friends. Mira, you have figured out some things, and you haven't had the chance to share with the party.
Yeah.
Do you want to get Jonas and Lily, pull Jonas and Lily aside to figure out?
Mira's like, no, I'm just gonna let Zahil deal with this because this seems like a shitty Zahil problem because Zahil likes to dump shit on other people. No.
You're right.
When did Mira live in Jersey? Seems like a Zahil problem. Just gonna let them deal with it.
Fine. Have fun, guys. I'm gonna save Earth.
Hooray!
Yay!
We're all doomed.
Zahil is truly the bird god that we have all been waiting for.
Oh,
the one and true bird savior.
You're definitely not gonna let that one happen. No bird god thing.
The bird savior, Zahil Crust.
Mira's like, nah, there's no bird god. I will not, over my dead corpse.
Nothing
Well, then,
by laughing.
Prove her wrong, then.
I'm thinking that instead of like pulling them aside to tell them, Mira's probably gonna try and do it in the most natural looking way possible. So probably while dancing.
Okay. So are you doing like a group dance with like Lily in between the both of you?
Of course.
You know, instead of Bible length apart, it's Lily length apart.
I mean, they could probably, the way I imagine it, not quite Bible length apart, is like if Jonas and Mira are facing each other, then they can make sort of like a cradle for Lily with one arm each to have her like on the side of them. Does that make sense?
Sort of. So are you carrying Lily?
In a sense, I guess. Yeah, like she's up off the ground.
Okay.
So they would be facing each other and just kind of like think of like child on hip, but instead of one person with child on hip, it's both of them.
So they're like standing side by side, and then there's Lily sitting on your.
No, they're facing each other. So it's like a little circle. You can't visualize it, can you?
No.
I can.
Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So like
Kinda.
They're doing bridge with her, but instead of her laying across their arms, she's like hiked up, right?
Yeah. Kind of. I guess that's the closest.
Rowan's face.
Like, all I can think of is like
You want me
London
to draw
Bridge.
a diagram?
All right. No,
Your face right there would make a perfect gift, Rowan.
just to make it easier,
just the.
if Lily was like 1 foot on Jonas's foot and then 1 foot maybe on Mira's, and they're just kind of twirling her around.
But they're facing each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
With
like a circle.
Okay.
Yeah.
A really tight circle where Lily is
Where did my pencil go?
gonna trip and die.
Okay, you know what? It's really not that important. Mira's just dancing with them.
Now, Vanessa, I'm just picturing you with a whiteboard, like sitting Rowan down, being like, "So you got the one arm here and the foot here, and then they're carrying over here." And Rowan's still just.
What? It's okay. It's okay. It's funny. All right.
Boom! Carried small child. I can't do a Madden impersonation, but that's where I was going.
Ow. All right. So either way, you are dancing with all three of them. Lily is somehow attached to you as your +1 in your dancing group. Okay. So how do you approach this this topic?
Well, it's pertinent information, so she's just gonna be like, yeah, so I was talking to Zahil when I was over by the food counter, so this is what...
So I was talking with Zahil over the water cooler and
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. So yeah.
I mean, obviously she's trying to speak low so that it's, you know, they're just having a conversation between them.
Okay. So you're talking low, you're like, so Zahil tells me that there's some shit going on.
What's this one?
I don't know. I don't know. You tell me. Jonas, how do you respond?
Well, does Mira say everything, or how do I respond to I was talking to Zahil?
No, she explains what Zahil said.
Oh, okay. And I'm getting the information that Zahil just got and the information Zahil had before that mixed up. What
Yes.
information do I have?
The information that you have is that the Foxes have mixed feelings on the issue, but they don't really necessarily have a choice but to kind of do what the prince wants. So they don't really feel like their feelings don't align with what was said in that speech. Their true feelings.
Okay.
So Mira, when Mira tells Jonas this information, it's more so like on her end, it's kind of a warning for them to be cautious, because if there are people who don't agree with what was said, then, you know, it could be of some danger, or at least caution to them, that they should be aware of this fact.
Correct.
That's what
do you share the information that you got when eating the food?
What information?
With the fact that everything in this land is corrupted, that this isn't the way that they're supposed to be.
Ah, right, when she was eating with Lily.
Yes.
Yeah, she would probably relate that as well.
Okay.
So even the people here are corrupted.
Yeah.
Anything from here is corrupted and not how they should be.
Goodness. Sorry. It shouldn't be so hard for Jonas to decide what he's going to do, but it is. Or how he's going to be.
I relate.
We're at a crossroads. We're at a crossroads, okay?
I had to roll for it, to be perfectly honest with you.
Oh,
actually,
jeez.
that's a good idea. So let me give me a second.
Odds or evens. You gotta pick though before you roll it, because otherwise,
Otherwise, yeah.
Oh, okay. So Jonas is done. He's like, I'm sick of playing his game. Like, if he wants to talk to me, he can talk to me. But I'm sick of playing this game, and I'm just gonna go back home and grab the pieces.
Okay. Lily actually is like, wait, you're leaving? But we just got here.
I know, Lily, and I'm sorry. But I've tried. I've done all I can. And he keeps leading me in circles. And so he wants his pieces, right? Are we going to give him his pieces, or are we going to destroy them? I'm going to go home and do the thing we decide.
Oh, well, but you don't have the piece that the foxes have yet. That's why you're here.
Foxes have a piece?
Where was that memo?
That's new information!
By the way, are Dick and Naomi like hear? Did they hear the stuff that Zahil said about like everybody?
Zahil only managed to get to
Mira
before feeling like they're paranoid. You want to see a paranoid bird?
Okay.
Zahil's a paranoid bird.
So.
Okay, so Dick's still clueless. Okay.
Yeah, you feel like you've seen, like, you're already paranoid. You already know that there's shit going on, but yeah, you're kind of clueless. However,
Okay.
Naomi did encourage you to go tell the others what's going on, that they're checking out
That
early.
the food is terrible and we're leaving.
Well, they're not leaving. They're going to the room that was provided to them.
I know. I'm being silly.
Yeah. Dick was gonna go let everybody know that she was gonna go
So-
sit down for a little bit.
So hell, like, it could be that Dick is approaching Jonas as he's saying this.
Wait, so what's going on?
This whole thing was set up, and not even all the foxes are on board. They're just doing it because Tamria told them to.
You don't
So it's all just
actually
another
you don't
level of-
actually know if it's a setup. You just know that they don't agree. That's information that Zahil has that you don't.
Yeah, what I meant set up, I didn't mean like it was a fake wedding. I just said like our invitations were just set up because like we were only invited and allowed to be here because Tamria just forced them to let us in.
Right. So
Naomi's like, I assumed as much. Already, I'm sorry if I didn't.
So I'm getting the sense that maybe not all of these folks are on board with what's going on.
Exactly. Also, the foxes have the last piece of Tamria that we need, so
Because of course they do. Well, if all the foxes ain't on board, then sow some dissent and discord, cause chaos.
Jonas is having a breakdown, okay? Jonas, like, just stands up in the middle of this crowd and is like, okay, let's have a vote. If you want us here, who wants us here? If you don't want us here, wait and raise your hand. If more people want us here, we'll stay. If more people don't want us here, we'll leave.
They all just look at you like you're...
Dick's just like, that's not exactly what I was thinking, but I like where your head's at.
They all look at you kind of oddly. Like, they stop. The music kind of slows down. There's this episode of Markiplier where he plays this game that is like awkward party simulator or whatever. So basically, as you go into the party, like everyone's dancing, and then you walk into the party, and then they slow down and stop and look at you, and the music's just going very slow. As you approach, like, hey, nice.
That's like any
It's kind of that
anxious
feeling.
person's worst nightmare.
Yes, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. So, and they all stop and look at you. That's kind of the situation where the music kind of, you know, and everyone just stops and looks at you. There's crickets. You know, actually not, because the puppet forest is ridiculously quiet. And you're left in this awkward silence. And Zahil, you're just there like...
Zahil's going to laugh. Zahil's gonna be like, ah, fellow human. That is so funny that you should say that. Like, as bad laughing as possible. Like
trying to recover.
uncomfortably terrible.
Yeah.
Like,
Trying
are
to
you
take
trying to do like a
the
Jonas
energy
is such
back.
a joker?
To be like, oh, look at me, I'll take the fall for this, it's fine.
So, okay, why don't Zahil roll to manipulate someone?
That's okay, right?
9, that's a mixed success. So they'll do it, but you have to do something to prove
a couple of d6 left.
I will totally roll a d6.
I will totally roll against you. There's
no!
no such thing. There's no such thing as disadvantage. But I feel like in this situation, you would be at a disadvantage.
Yeah, you're right.
I rolled a 1.
So I'm still
So
gonna
it's still a
die.
9.
So mixed success still. I mean that would have given you a full success unless someone wants to help out. I don't know how you would.
I'll help.
Yeah, okay, Dick, how do you help?
Yeah, Dick's gonna join in with Zahil and be like, I know, right? Silly Jonas. What were you saying, Zahil? You were saying
I'm gonna roll
something
against you guys
interesting?
along with Rowan.
Do it.
Whoa.
What do I roll?
You
Is
roll
this charm?
Cool to help out.
Rowan, what should I roll? Just a
Alright.
d6 or?
Yes.
Nope.
Oh dang
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna use the postman always rings twice to re-roll that.
Oh.
Fuck you, roll 20.
What did you get? 4. Oh, yep. Nope. You're
I got
no.
6 and
You're
then a
no.
4.
You're like, haha, you're such a kidder.
This whole thing
Meeple
is
brought up a
really
good point. Where is that helpful rubber ducky when you need one?
That helpful rubber ducky is definitely here somewhere, but I know exactly what it is, and I'm actually giving Michael some extra for it. By the way, like extra stuff for free.
Okay.
So it's here. It's just not here yet.
Okay.
Yes. In fact, that is the I guess I can say it. That's the reason Lily said there's a piece of soul here.
Ah, cool.
Oh, God.
It's the rubber ducky.
We have to keep our eyes
Oh,
peeled for
God.
rubber
You
ducky
have to
now.
get Tembrius. You have to get Tembrius rubber ducky.
Oh, we're such trash tonight, guys.
I know.
In
I've
the
not.
best way.
I just thought it was giggly.
Okay.
Okay, so you rolled a 1. Okay. Either way, it's still a mixed success. That's what's going on here. You live by the mixed success, you die by the mixed success.
I'll take it.
That's what we're worried
I'll
about.
take whatever you got coming.
Okay. So in order to manipulate someone, you have to like prove that you mean it. Let me read this word for word here. For manipulating someone or manipulating monsters, I guess manipulating someone's better for this situation. On a 7-9, they'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now to show that you mean it. So they all just kind of turn and look at you a little like
Shoot.
you expect us to believe that this is a joke.
Okay, you might have to make me roll for it, but let me tell you what I've got planned.
Uh-oh.
Zahil's gonna recede back just long enough to show Savoy, who looks like they may or may not be having a nervous breakdown right now, and then come back and be like, oh, aren't humans just the funniest?
Jonas, what did you say in response? This might determine it.
Jonas is gonna be like, I'm serious. You guys deserve to have a say on whether or not we're here, so let's make a vote.
Okay. This is what I'll do. Okay. So you're clearly getting some dirty looks. Dick, this confirms some things. You do realize that there were some people who were giving you dirty looks before. So kind of a moment you see the mask kind of come down a little. However,
I was justified in my bird.
Wait, what?
however,
I'm giving them the bird.
Yes,
the
you're like,
flipping them
ha
off.
I have a reason. And Naomi is also just like, what the fuck are you doing? But the bride and groom speak up and they say, oh no, of course we want you here. Why else would we go out of our way to make sure that you are here? I do not think any of us are opposed to you being here. Not really. Oh, what? Oh, look at that cool roll.
I would like to note that Savoy is trying to fight to come back. And Zahil, I would like to say that Zahil lost their cool, but it's your call.
So if Zahil loses her cool,
Yeah.
I will leave that up to you, actually. Like, if Zahil is starting to feel like this situation's out of my control, I was doing really good and getting information, and now he's fucked it up. Like, maybe you're starting to get angry.
Right. Jonas also rolled for monster empathy. I don't know if you want to address that first.
Yes. I imagine it's kind of at the same time. So, Jonas, what are you trying to do?
Jonas is just trying, like, gonna take another look around to see, like, if it's true what he's heard, like, and if the bride and groom are lying about everybody being okay with it.
Okay. You definitely see some mixed reactions. In general, like, people are just kind of some look away when you look at them. Others are like nodding emphatically, like, why wouldn't we want you here? You notice especially that it's the more well-dressed foxes that are usually the ones that are nodding emphatically and are kind of involved. I would like Dick. Read a bad situation.
Okay. That was also a really funny pause between my character's name and read a bad situation. That's sharp, right?
Yes.
After this, assuming that there's nothing super weird with what I'm about to find out, I have a thing that I would like to do with the crowd.
Okay.
Just as a heads up. So a 7 on read a bad
Mixed
situation.
success. You get to hold 1. Okay. Read a bad situation. Where are you? Okay. What's my best win? What's my best out? Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to me? What's the best way to protect the victims?
This might actually play into what I was trying to do.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you a question, and you can tell me if this would work or if I need to ask a different question for this. So my question is, who looks like it would be the easiest person to start, or where's the group that looks like they're the most tense with each other that I could start a fight by, like, punching somebody in the back of the head and then pointing to their friend behind them or something like that?
Okay, you definitely see, okay, you're starting to pick out the cliques. You definitely see them. You see the group that Zahil was talking to earlier, like the more neutral, just kind of like side-eyeing you. The ones that are, like, once again, the most emphatic that you are there and happy to see you, definitely the more higher class, the leaders, they are the ones that are like, oh yeah, of course. There's definitely ones to the back that are just kind of like giving you dirty looks. Would you like to use a luck point?
No. What I would like to do is find those two groups that seem to be not happy with each other.
Okay.
And start a fight.
Okay.
I want to start a riot, essentially.
Okay.
Dick at this point is like, this party's been going on forever. We're not getting anywhere. Now we found out that it's just another level of game. So let's do something that Tenryu's not going to expect.
Okay. So yeah, they're definitely the ones that are less well dressed, especially the ones that are hanging in the back and things like that, are definitely the ones that are not happy. While the ones that are the leaders, the highfalutin ones, they're the ones that are like, oh yes, of course, please stay.
Okay. I want to get behind one of the snooty ones. And I'm not going for damage here, just impact.
No.
I want to smack him in the back of the head, and then turn to the other person and go, damn, that was vicious. Why did you just smack them in the back of the head like that? Out of nowhere.
Okay. Okay, yeah. I'm trying to figure out what you should roll. Act under pressure? Act under pressure.
Pressure. 5. I'm gonna use a crit.
Okay. Wow, you got a 12. Good job. Wow, and that 12?
Yay!
Wow, how'd that happen? So Zahil, you lose.
I'm gonna start.
You start. So you're already starting to get really angry, especially as they're not listening to you. And
Right.
Jonas just keeps on kind of digging, and then you see Dick hit one of the big guys on the back of the head.
And Zahil loses control over the body again. And they were doing so well.
You were hanging on the fox lady still, right? So she's right there.
Yes.
Because you were dancing with her.
Right. And then so Zahil, in a last effort, is gonna move her out of their protective wings because they know it's coming. And all of their feathers shed off of them. And Savoy is like peeling their dress coat and mask off and breaks the mask against the floor and throws the coat on the ground. And they've completely come undone. And they said, no, Jonas is right. Who here wants it here? Who here is actually fighting for what the right moral compass is? And like they're just like tearing feathers out of themselves and like molting, and just like they look like a fucking madman. And and they say, and they turn to the bride and groom, Savoy does, and they say, this is a setup, and yells it in front of everybody. This is a setup. They're siblings. This has been done. Drag us out here. We have been set up like martyrs, whether we're going to die or survive for this God-forsaking fucking king. That's not a king. They never became a
Dick's
king.
gonna yell out. And these guys were totally in on it. And is pointing at the the people that he's trying to get everybody angry at.
Yes, and on its finest degree.
I'm sorry, Rowan, if that fucked everything up, but
Oh no, I have ideas. This is
okay.
so everyone sees under the skin as that kind of infection. You see those like more feral foxes at the tattered wings just for a brief moment. And then Dick hits the other one on the back of the head.
Why the pauses? Why the pauses?
And I'm thinking on my feet here, you assholes.
Dick hits.
Dick hits.
The thing.
So at that point, all hell breaks loose. Like they start like all of a sudden the nobles turn on the ones that are clearly on the fence or kind of neutral to negative about the situation, and they're like, we knew that you would try something. And then all of a sudden, like, it's as if they're like werewolves. They just kind of transform to these horrendous fox monsters with these tattered wings, and they just all start tearing at each other and
What do you
ripping
mean?
off these fancy clothes.
What do you mean try something? Try to give you a voice?
Also, an addendum. As the fight actually starts happening, Dick has Ballroom Blitz queued up on their phone and just plays it at max volume.
Naomi's just like,
Jonas gets taken away by the music, and all of a sudden he's just smashing chairs on tables. He doesn't even want to fight anybody. He's just pumped by the song. No, just kidding.
Dick just looks at Naomi and in true Malcolm Reynolds fashion goes, turns out this is my kind of party.
Naomi just looks so tired. So there's kind of two reactions. Like there are foxes jumping at each other and ripping into each other, like going full feral. And then there's others that are just panicking and just trying to clear out as best they can. And some of them are being dragged into the fight. It's a bloodbath.
Okay, so Jonas is gonna have to be Jonas and jump in and try and save some foxes.
I love Jonas.
Okay. Roll to kick some ass.
He just lets out this huge sigh and he just gets off the table and just like goes into the fight. Okay, kick some ass.
Dick's gonna help.
It's like, all right.
Not so much saving
So
the people directly,
Savoy, you're kind of,
but help.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Helping Jonas do it by beating up the people that come after Jonas trying to help.
That's funny. Savoy, you're kind of in the middle here, and yeah, your fox girl date is kind of pulled into this fray, and she lets out kind of a shriek.
Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Savoy is morally obligated to at least help her out. So yes, Savoy will jump into it instead of doing what they were going to do.
Excellent. The bride and groom kind of, yeah, though they're in on this too. They're actually fighting each other.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jonas, that's a mixed success. So you trade blows. Like, is there anyone specific that you're looking for? Like maybe a girl, fox, or
he's just looking for anybody that doesn't look like they want to be in the fight. So like if he saw somebody get pulled in, he'd go for them first, and then he'd.
Okay. So you managed to free one person, but you take one harm.
Okay.
Okay. So you trade blows here. You kind of get scratches across your cheek. Mira, what's your reaction to all this madness? Lily is like desperately clinging to your legs.
Yeah, no, Mira doesn't move immediately. She's very trying to sift through my thoughts and her thoughts at the same time. It's it's a lot.
I know. That's why I keep pausing after Dick.
She's holding on to Lily. She hoists Lily up into her arms, and she's holding on to her, and she's just watching things go to shit. And she doesn't know if she wants to stay and help, or if she just wants to take Lily and go.
Lily actually kind of tugs on your dress lightly, and she's like, let's go to the castle. Let's go to the castle. It's safe there. I don't want to be here anymore. Everything will make sense there.
Mira closes her eyes briefly and grits her teeth. And she just says, "What about our friends?"
They can catch up eventually. They know where we're going. They know where they're supposed to be.
They don't know how to get there. Do you really think anybody here is going to be willing to take them there after this?
They were just going to give you the piece. They were just going to give it to you.
Mira
This was the easy part. This was the easy part. This was a reward.
Mira just opens her eyes and looks specifically for each of her friends.
And they're all in on it, except for like Naomi, who's just here like horrified.
Jonas would look back at some point. I don't know if it would be at this point, if they'd be able to lock eyes. Like, I don't know if I'd have to roll for that kind of gift from God, but
sure. Let's say that you do look back.
okay, so Jonas, when he looks back, he would just have this expression on his face like get to safety, like you and Lily need to get to safety, and then he'd call out for Savoy to go with them.
Savoy has to help her girlfriend though. Not girlfriend.
Savoy's gotta,
girl.
well,
then
we can
Naomi.
drag her along. We can drag her along.
Naomi, go with them, and Naomi's just like, what? Okay.
All right. It's at this point that we're gonna mirror an early session now, and I don't think that's a good thing because in the early session, Mira was not a friend. So just like in those early sessions where they were fighting the ogre, and Mira took Lily and just ran because she didn't want any of them to see her. Mira's just gonna take Lily and she's gonna go.
Oh, Naomi, go ahead.
Mira will hear, like, as she's running away, like a call out, like, "I love you."
Naomi is so unsure what to do. Here is Dick kind of helping instigate and kind of in on the fight. And she was just kind of told to go with Mira. So yeah, she just
Mira doesn't wait. She's not waiting for anybody. She's not looking out for whoever's coming after her. She's just going. So
well, Naomi's coming after regardless, whether you're looking out for her or not.
Savoy rolled an 11 on kick some ass.
You kick an ass. You managed to save the girl. You drag him out of the feral.
Would I be able to throw her over my shoulder and try and bolt after Mira?
I'm gonna roll against you. Okay, here's what I'll do. Bolting after Mira is its own action. You kick some ass, you get her out. You get her out, she's free. You do take a point of harm.
Okay.
You still, but it's only 1 point. You accomplish it. You manage to knock some fox's ass.
Compared to the amount of harm I've experienced otherwise, this is a cakewalk.
Yes. So next I need you to roll act under pressure.
That's a cool bit.
Yes.
No! So, Rowan, what happens?
Okay. Well, it's not your normal cool, like, Zaheel comes out type cool, unless you want it to be.
It's your call.
No, it's yours.
Okay.
But I'm going to say this is specifically an act under pressure roll. So you cannot pursue. These feral foxes are getting in your way. You kind of have the option of either just heading kind of the opposite direction towards the food table, towards where like there's less fighting, and leaving them to run and get out of sight and you can't follow them at all, or continue to kick ass.
I will continue to kick ass with a fox babe slung over my shoulder.
Excellent.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Meanwhile, as this has been a perfect opportunity for that warring tribe, the ones that were once part of this tribe, to enact their plan. Their plan initially was to maybe see if they could, steal some humans, maybe kick them out, maybe wreck their day a little. But this has been a way, way better opportunity. So they enter unnoticed into the houses and pull out a duck, a jewel-encrusted rubber duck. They have the piece of Tamriu's soul. And that is where we're going to end tonight.
Did you do this?
Jonas extended them the right for democracy, and like, what the hell happened?
It was Dick's fault.
Dick happened. Also, can I punch something before we wrap things up?
Sure, fine. Punch something.
Yay.
Did you even see Naomi run off?
Mixed success. Probably. I don't know.
I'd say with the
Dick started helping Jonas.
mixed success, you do not. You do not see where Naomi goes.
I just want to punch something.
Yes, you punch something. You trade blows with something. So you punch one of these feral,
Awesome.
like these pompous feral assholes in the face. No, you punch the bride in the face.
Yes.
But you get hit for 1 point.
Cool. I've got asphalt jungle, so I shrug it off.
Very nice. And then Dick punches the bride.
Yes. Yes. Michael, I started a fight, and then it turned into a ballroom blitz. I just punched the bride. Mira and Lily ran towards the castle. Naomi was following. Is it Savoy or Zahil that has...
Savoy has the fox.
Somebody-
Savoy.
Okay, so Savoy
Has
has
Kala.
Zahil's date draped over their shoulder and is punching things.
Yep.
And Jonas is helping the ones that are not part of the fight get out of it.
Well, not punching, just blocking.
And the warring tribe came in and stole the rubber ducky.
That is part of
And,
Tamriu's soul.
that's the end. Yeah, and that's where we're ending.
Yep.
But I had to punch something first.
Yep.
So which one of the many raid cries that we've been talking about, chat, are we gonna go with?
Words the bird.
Chat can decide.
Where's the bird?
Where's the bird? Oh, but in all seriousness,
I do like Dick
in
punches
all seriousness
bride.
though, that's a good one too. In all seriousness though, like it's not just like I want to make chaos. I do, but that's not the sole reason why I did that. So Dick's thinking is like, okay, we're always 3 steps behind. So what we need to do is change the game.
That certainly
So-
changed the game.
Yeah, so it's like now Tamriu has something else he has to focus his attention on. Maybe we can catch up.
Fair enough.
Plus, she gets to hit something. So win-win.
Excellent. All right.
Oh, good
Okay,
stuff.
let's go around in your favorite moments. I think hit shit the fan towards the end. So, oh boy. Let's start with Vanessa. What's your favorite moment? Where can we find you next?
I didn't have a favorite moment because I'm just too fucking stressed.
I'm so
Oh, no.
sorry.
I am so stressed, you guys. So
I'm
stressed.
so sorry. I tried to make it okay.
Sorry,
Oh,
I didn't
my-
think Jonas's thing would like derail everything. I thought maybe the Fox people would be like, okay, that's fair.
They're fairies, Jonas. What the fuck, man? Not how that shit works, buddy. A fucking fairy democracy? Are you kidding?
Fairy democracy.
Anyway, I'm stressed. Thank you. Good night. You can find me on. You guys.
So sorry.
I'm so sorry, V.
What? You know what? We're not forgiving Dick right at this moment either. So Dick can sit the fuck down too.
At least there was like logic and a plan behind it. It wasn't just reckless wanton destruction.
Or maybe if Dick played the game and just went with it, we'd have the ducky.
That's
There's
what Lily said.
Exactly. There's a sentence I never thought I would say. Just go with the flow and we'll get the rubber ducky.
That's an even better great cry.
That's a fantastic great cry too. So many good ones.
Yeah, we'll just have to see what happens next week, I suppose.
We'll see you next.
I will be here on Saturday for more Animus Absentus, in which I play Annie, who also just had to deal with a weird situation, and her crew gets her into a lot of shit, so that should be fun.
Oh boy.
Other than that, you can find me on my art Twitter, which is at Pepero Draws. That's Pepero like the candy. And as well as my coffee page, which I will pop into the chat.
Excellent. And then we lost Yasmin. So we're gonna go to Riley. Favorite parts? We're fighting next.
A favorite part was just the parallel that was drawn, even though it was like heartbreaking. The parallel that was drawn with Mira running away with Lily, like to call back towards the beginning of the campaign. I really loved that.
Yeah.
That was cool.
And then, honestly, just that point where I had to roll for Jonas, because honestly, yeah, Jonas is at his breaking point.
Understandable.
Yeah, he was sick of being treated like I have to prove that the entire human race is good. Like, that's just a lot of weight to put on somebody's shoulder.
Yeah. Here, Yas, while you're in chat, tell us your favorite moment.
But while Yaz is typing, you can find me everywhere online at Arielle Knits. And then we have a coffee page to help our YouTube channel. Right now we're saving up for a mic and lighting for like tutorials. So
nice. Very nice.
Not getting the rubber ducky is Michael Wayne's favorite part. Is that your favorite?
The heartbreaking moment of Mira bolting, yeah.
Yeah, but Michael's favorite part. Not getting the rubber ducky. Sorry, fam. I set it up that was going to be the piece of Temuru's soul, and then whoops, things changed.
Still trying to be a good bird, and Savoy being the one to fuck it up. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was
great. Too. There was a lot of good moments. All right.
I did not expect that to end as a chaos person enjoyed it. Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm really glad that you were happy with that.
Guys, don't forget to put your links in chat as well, so everybody can come find your wonderful stuff.
Okay. Raven.
My favorite part, I really enjoyed the oh hey, Jonas is fed up. I'm on my last nerve, almost literally when it comes to sanity before I start going, kind
bananas,
of insane.
Yeah.
We're getting nowhere. You know what? I'm just gonna jump in with Jonas here and start some chaos.
Fair enough.
I think that was my favorite part, because Dick was moved past their apathy, which usually has to have some serious things happen before she does that.
Yeah.
So that was fun, but the whole thing was really interesting. I'm excited now to see what this other warring tribe is all about, and how maybe they can use that towards their advantage against Timryu, so they can catch up with whatever diabolical game he's playing. And yeah, I think that was pretty much it. Just getting an opportunity to maybe change the game a little bit.
Yeah.
The game being Timryu's game, not necessarily like this game. And then you can find me next. Today's Wednesday. I'll be producing Where Things Go South on Friday at 1 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. I don't know that we're going to have a one-shot this Friday night, because I don't have anything planned and I haven't had anybody sign up for it. So probably just going to have the Friday day game, and then Saturday there will be the Void Cavalcade and Animus Absentis. I'm really excited for both of those. So that's kind of what's coming up this week. And I think that's pretty much it for announcements as well. I'll go ahead and mention our sponsors here. Be sure to check out Fundamental RPG. We do run second edition, the playtest version for that, on Animus Absentis on Saturday, so if you want to know what that's all about, that's the system we're using for that game. And playtest is available on my Patreon if you're Bard tier or higher. So that is an option if you want to try it out as well. There we go, there's the link for that. And I think that is all of the stuff to talk about aside for Grinding Coffee Company, which I'll throw the link into chat here. But it's really, really good coffee, so if you like coffee, definitely give them a try. And the code that you'll see in chat will get you 13% off your order. So yeah, Rowan, what was your favorite part and everything? And then we'll go do a raid.
I totally forgot about me. Wow. Okay. Jeez. Well, I was really enjoying just the intrigue in general. You know, just starting to get to the nitty gritty of kind of how this starting to peel away the layers little by little, and then just I was blown out of the water, and I'm just like thinking on my feet of how this is gonna go. I've been really enjoying pretty much all of Zahil's interactions with Kala, the fox, as kind of this coach through this fairy world. And I'm really excited about what's going to happen with Mira and Lily. I'm really excited. So
next week's gonna be awesome.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of jumping back and forth like we did at the beginning, but there's gonna be some interesting stuff because with this, I think we finally entered the final stretch. So yeah, I'm excited. You'll find me next Wednesday here, and you can find my stuff at ronorthillustrations.org. So yeah, working on an online store right now.
Fabulous. All right, with that, we're going to go on a raid. We're going to go raid, make sure that they are, in fact, still alive. Perception Studio, which is a really cool channel. I haven't spent a whole lot of time over there, just because I'm usually streaming when they're streaming. But I've seen a little bit of it, and it's really cool. They play D&D with puppets. Like, most of the characters, the players are using puppets to portray their characters. So it's really neat. So we're going to go raid them. So be sure to say hello, give them a follow if you would like. And we've got our raid cry, which will be interesting. And yeah, I will see you all on Friday. Thanks, everybody. Also, thanks again to Michael for the donation. And, of course, everybody for playing and Rowan for running the game. Thanks. Bye, everybody.